doing this stuff, like hosting? Because I've known you forever.
Hosting stuff or hosting podcasts? Podcasts I've been doing since 2010.
Yeah.
Hosting I've been doing for decades.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Literally since the 1900s.
It's crazy. How did you know knew that was like a superpower for you? Career path.
Because I always wanted to do. Thank you for tuning into Billy Magnussen's podcast.
Yeah. Tell me about your mother.
I'll tell you. We'll get there. It always ends up there.
Yeah.
But I was always obsessed with stand-up comedy in the 70s and 80s. There was an 80s comedy boom. There was also this like concurrent game show boom in the 80s. Mm-hmm. And I just always loved hosting stuff. And I thought,
you have to have like cojones to do that. Like, I think so. Like to constantly keep a show moving
forward. Or a personality disorder. I don't know. Stand-up is sort of like a compulsion, I think.
Or an expulsion of like emotions like held up, you think?
Possibly.
I'm scared of stand-up comedy. I think it's fantastic. It's like the people that do it are fantastic. I don't know if I don't
know if any stand-up ever feels like they chose to do it. It's just sort of like
they were forced to.
Well, they just gravitated towards it. We'll kind of get to the hosting stuff, but I kind of want to find out about you as a performer because
we're like all over.
Billy's like, I don't want to talk about myself. But
it's really funny doing like a press tour and all that stuff. Like this is new, first time. I've never like been the lead of a show or something like that, and to feel that weight of all the wonderful people that work on it.
Yeah,
and like to go out there and do this talking stuff, and I'm always like floored by it. I'm like, it's just I'm a dude from Georgia hanging out, and I have this opportunity. I don't know.
Does it feel surreal?
Yeah, of course it does. I think I get to meet wonderful people like you. I've watched you for years, and like. I don't know, you're in these places and you're like, how did I get here? I don't know what I'm doing here, what I'm supposed to say. There's not like a handbook on doing this journey.
No. And especially because...
But everyone's nice.
Well, I'm glad to hear that because Lamorne Morris was here a little while ago and he was just like... He didn't know you were coming on the show, and he was like, "Oh, and my friend Billy Magnussen, who's like he's like the godparent to my daughter, and he's like the best." And as soon as Lamorne said that, I was like, "Oh, Billy's gonna be cool because if Lamorne likes him, he must be a nice guy."
Just be nice. It's really easy. It's like one rule that's worth following: just don't be an asshole. It's a really easy rule to follow.
I heard it. There was a friend of mine who's a director, and he was saying, and I always like to ask directors, like, "Oh, what's kind of your guiding principle?" Because they're always a little bit different. And this guy said, my goal as a director is with each film to weed out more and more of the dickheads.
Yeah.
That it's basically just like he's just trying to create this core group of nice people who just want to make art and have a nice time.
It's my Happy Bad Bungalow, my production company. We're the same way. It's like early in my career, as you start as an actor, or like probably you have done is stand up and stuff. It's very isolating. You're always alone. You're always like promoting yourself weirdly. And I was like, I just want to have a community because I feel I'm always on the road. It sounds great, like you're traveling, seeing amazing stuff, but you're alone.
Yeah.
And so I built the production company with my partners, and we slowly are acquiring more people into this community because we like them. I want to keep working with the same exciting people that I don't know, inspire me, excite me, challenge me.
And also you end up kind of becoming this unofficial troupe.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, they're all there's this, like the anthology series of this production company's career where it's like everyone mixes and matches and you see them just pop up in different things. And I always really respect that because I go, oh, they're friends. They're helping each other.
But then they all crumble. Did you ever notice that? They all crumble for some reason. What happens? Oh, money. Money does it.
Yeah. One person gets a little squirrely. That's why I never liked like having people over for game nights. Like,
what?
Because there's just stuff I don't want to learn about people. It's like, oh, that person I thought was so cool. He's so competitive.
He's a cheater.
Yeah, he's a cheater. He yells at people. He really wants to win.
Lamorne Morris.
Guy. Game night. Speaking of game night, you were in game night.
That's where we met. We became really good friends. Like, I don't know if you've experienced this with going through my career and 20 years. I have a lot of acquaintances, but very few friends from work. And I met Lamorne, and him and I just were like, oh, we're friends. Yeah, it's really nice. And I got a handful of those guys.
It is. I always have to quote the Muppets on this one, but Paul Williams wrote this great line.
I know, right? That's the quote. quote?
That's one of them. That's one of them. And also the first social media clip. I mean, that's a TikTok video of you just being animal.
Great.
But also this idea, I think it's Gonzo who sings There's Not a Word Yet for Old Friends Who've Just Met. And I feel like
that's cool.
I'm going to go back there someday. It's this really amazing song that we can't afford to sing on here. But
what's the word?
What's the what?
What's the word? Do we have a word for it?
There's no word, but it's just that idea of like we're constantly kind of seeking these people out that we have these.
Especially as an older man now, like, or once you get older, it's hard to be like, hey, you want to be my friend?
Yeah, exactly. Hey, is it weird if we just hang out? Can I just call you sometimes? Especially now in a texty culture.
Yeah,
where there's no.
I'm not good at it.
Where I accidentally called a friend of mine, like my
accidentally.
Finger.
I cold call everyone
because I was hovering over
cold
the contact.
FaceTime.
You do?
Oh, cold FaceTime. Yeah.
Oh,
what you doing?
See, that's when I get a FaceTime from someone. I'm like, are they in a hospital? Something terrible's happened. Why are they FaceTiming me? Yeah.
No.
But I accidentally called a friend of mine because my finger I was rifling through the contacts and my finger got close enough to break the molecular plane. So it called I immediately hung up. And of course he calls right back. He's like, did you just call me? I'm like,
because we all want connection.
Yes,
I think we've lost it.
We have. And he goes, it's okay to just call. I just assume, A, I assume I'm always bothering people. And B, I assume people just would prefer to text.
No one's busy in it. If no one's busy. If they really want to talk to you, they're not busy.
Most of the time people are busy, but often not with most things that are like important. We can become busy throughout the day.
Well, I've been out there in the public sphere a little more.
Yeah.
All my friends seem to call me less because they're like, oh, he's probably busy.
Yes.
And it's heartbreaking because I'm like, I'm not always busy, and like if you call me, I'll hang out with you. But I think these people unless all of them hate me. So
no, they don't hate you. I'll tell you exactly what it is because I feel like this too. Sometimes it is an insecurity on our part because you see someone start to get successful, and so you automatically assume like. You can't help but start to feel like
a distance.
They're going up here and I'm here. And my wife has said to me, like, why don't you reach out to this person, that person? I go, they're busy. They're directing this huge movie. They're doing this. And she goes, but to them, it seems like you don't care about them. And I go, it's the opposite. I don't think enough of myself to think that they want to be bothered by me. And she was like, that is completely the wrong way to think about it.
Oh, man, that's sad.
It is sad. But it also, like, to a lot of your friends or people, they probably like, oh, he's busy. He doesn't.
Yeah.
When you're sitting there going, just call me.
Yeah. Just do it. Just cold FaceTimes. Come on.
Just cold face. Just scroll through.
I'll pick up anywhere too.
Just I think
I was on stage the other day. They like just cold FaceTime and like at a Q&A or something.
You got it, especially if you're at like Comic-Con and Hall H or something. You just got to FaceTime someone like, hey, some people want to say hi, and they're just like 7,000 nerds screaming at them. But I think that's what's sort of. As you find yourself getting into this position, you can set the example, you might have to do a little more work just to let people know that it's okay. But once they do, then, you'll be good.
The door will always be open, and it should be. I think that's the beauty of art as well. I think any art form, music, painting, acting, whatever, it's to not feel alone. I have a feeling, I want to express it, and if to share it with someone else, and someone else resonates with that, that's the purpose of art. A song or something, the undefiable thing you were saying about.
But it also depends on like why you're doing it. Are you doing it to connect? Are you doing it to express? But you know that if you have a feeling about something, there's a non-zero number of other people.
So why do you do it?
Yeah, I think it's just for that reason. And also, unfortunately, there is some of the ego validation stuff, which I feel like you're constantly just sword fighting with as you.
What's the biggest thing with your ego you think you're fighting?
Well, particularly in today, it's like the social media validation and the.
Which is it? Can you put monetary value on that?
I think there's a cultural economy. There's an attention economy, and there's sort of like it's created this weird stock market of human attention where like, oh, this person gets a lot of engagement, so we should put them in our project.
We should do everything. Yeah. Where they have no talent at all.
Well, you never know. Like, or they could or they couldn't, or you don't know. But it also is like, just because we're human, it's hard. I mean, especially like social media tools were designed to psychologically like open you like an old tin can and get into your psyche so that you would be addicted to it. So it is very difficult to navigate it healthily and just be like, whatever, you posted, it doesn't matter. You can tell yourself that, but you're still like, oh, not as many people like that one. And you're like, God damn it, I'm doing this.
It hurts. I mean, this is what the Audacity is.
That's what the Audacity is about.
It's the people that run this shit and the absurdity and like the mistakes they make. It affects like 7.2 billion people. And like the irony of it all is that, let's be honest, there's a specific type of person that gravitates towards Silicon Valley or the tech space. And they might not be the most socially adequate people, but they're forcing us and telling us how to socialize now. And we follow these rules. And they don't know how to do it themselves, which is, I think, the biggest ironic situation in the world. And it's now being like, like you said, that's the commodity now, is the attention. And like that these people are in charge. It's
and the need for validation, and it sort of like upends us to kind of feast on some of our most insecure qualities because and I find it so interesting that this thing that's supposed to be so connective is oddly isolating, but really kind of going back to your earlier point, what we really crave is connection. We want to feel seen, heard, connected, and so
not alone.
And I think that's why, you know, hearing you say, I mean, I already like you. Like even just hearing like, I just want to thank you. I just want to build this. Oh, am I going to get on the cold FaceTime list?
Yeah, you're on it. Well, you got to give me your number.
I will.
Just say it now on the podcast.
Yeah. Area code 310. But I think just this idea where you're like, hey, I see the value in creating this community of like-minded people that I like to create art with. I mean, I don't. It's funny because as a stand-up, that is a very like lone wolf thing to do, you know.
But there is a community in the stand-up world.
There is a stand-up community. I tour with my best friend because that's our hangout time, and I love him so much, and it's fun. But I also know that like this idea of creating a community around you to create art. I love collaboration. As a stand-up, it's weird. I really don't like writing alone, and I've chosen this thing where I would normally write alone, but I way prefer to be in a room with people, kicking around ideas, feeling the energy, you know, connecting.
When I was a younger man, the way I approached the entertainment world or being an actor was totally different than how I approach it now, with like the calmness of it, the more focused on the craft itself, which is really exciting. And I never knew that as a young man. I think there was a hunger for, again, just to not feel like a nobody.
Sure.
And then as I've moved through the years, like finding characters and more little specific weird characters and their tics and like those kind of aspects of humanity.
I completely agree with this. When you're younger, you don't quite know who you are yet, or I didn't know who I was yet. And so what you gravitate towards when you're younger is like attention, being known. Well, I got to make a stake, you know, I got to plant a flag in the ground and, you know, plant a stake for who I am. And that's getting all this external validation. And as you start to get older, you start to know yourself a little more. You start to get a little more comfortable in your skin.
Yeah.
And then you start asking those questions like, who am I? What do I want? You know, which can be different from that.
Yeah. As an actor, I think that's been the best part. It's like, again, if you know my career or not, I've been fortunate enough to have, you know, been in a number of projects, but they're always as like small character or side characters. There's not much real estate to play in. But with Duncan Park and the Audacity, like I have to understand his morality as a human being, basically. Sure. But to do that, I have to understand my own.
Yes.
And I have to ask myself the same questions and be like, where are they different? Who are these two different people? And and that's a fun exercise to constantly ask yourself, and to have a TV show to the next week do something new, and it keeps growing. Because, you know, in a play or in a movie, it's start to finish, you know what everything is it's going to be.
Yeah.
But with a TV show, you're discovering more and more layers of this character and yourself as you're creating it. It's really a wild experience.
Yeah, and if you're fortunate enough to get to do the show for 3, 4, 5 seasons, then obviously the character's going to evolve and you're going to evolve, and then you're going to figure out like.
Have you ever felt like in your life, whatever you needed to confront in yourself, like presented itself through work or life?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think there's kind of an energetic Q&A that's always going on with the. I don't really mean this in like a mystical way, but with the universe, where it's like energetically what you're putting out there. You know, if you're asking questions, you will start to see those answers. And whether or not that's mystical or whether it's just scientific and like your particular activating system noticing those things because those are the answers you're seeking. But I think that's why it's so important to ask good questions.
Yeah.
Because your brain, the universe is this kind of supercomputer. So if you say like, why do I suck at everything? You're going to get those answers. Or like, what does this mean for me? Or how do I do this better? Or how can I grow? Then you'll get those answers. Is that kind of what you mean?
I think it's that. I think also confrontations of like my personal life and a character I was playing, weirdly, like the intersection there was always a crazy coincidence, I thought.
Coincidence, or like when you auditioned for the part, maybe there was just something authentic that came through that connected you to that thing. That, you know, like when you get cast in something, you know, whoever sees, maybe they see what you don't see yet. But I think that's always so interesting about creating art, is that you may not even realize what you were trying to say until it's retrospective and you look back and you go, oh shit, that's so crazy. But even at the time when you were in it, you didn't notice that.
As a young man, I started on soap operas and theater in New York. And I kept going like, when my career starts. And then I'm like, 29, and I was like, oh shit, I'm in my career. I forgot that. Like all that stuff leading up to this moment is my career.
That's really interesting. So what do you think that, you know, 25, 26-year-old Billy Magnussen thought the start of his career was going to be?
Shit, I don't know.
Where you are now?
There's like, now is even crazier. I feel like I'm still doing the same things I am. I was the way I approach work is still the same thing. Break down the script, build a character, do the whole thing. It's just the room I'm in and the talent that surrounds me. I'm in admiration of it all, and I'm like, how am I in the same league as these people? And that's what's shocking to me more than anything. Is like I've been just doing the work over the years.
Yeah, I always think. Soap operas are such an amazing training ground for actors.
Yeah.
Whether or not you want to stay in soap operas, it's great, steady work, but just that idea. Did you have a perception of doing soaps before?
I was a kid coming out of college. I don't know why I said it again, because I didn't tell you the story. So first time, I was a kid coming out of college.
God, he won't stop talking about coming out. I get it. You went to college. It was the first time.
Still don't have the degree, but getting out of college, like to get a job as on a soap opera, I had a 3-year contract. It was like I was 21 years old, getting to act every day, basically 40 pages. I didn't know the difference. I didn't know how to work with lights or any cameras. This is whatever. I didn't know what was wrong. Like, or like what I didn't know how to do it incorrectly. Right. So I just did it.
Yes.
Yeah. And that was the best, like just being thrown into the wolves, and you're just like, I'm surviving.
Yes.
There's stake because there's people's money, like money's on the line.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was the greatest training ground. Like, you're like, no, the nation's going to see this tomorrow or next week. And you're like, I guess I'll try my best. But the tool of memorizing stuff, I exercise that muscle completely.
Yeah.
We're learning camera angles, lighting, all that stuff that they don't teach you in school.
I feel like soap operas are great because I feel like...
And you're playing every range of
emotion.
Yeah, because you're being like, I have to be mean today. I have to be sad. I got to be angry. I got to.
Oh, it turns out I'm the villain. Yeah, I get redeemed.
Yeah, but like you're like, I have to justify that, and that was so fun.
And you don't. I think what's great about it is you don't have time to overthink it.
Yeah,
just sort of like on the theme of overthinking things, because you get your pages, I imagine. You just have to shoot it that day, and then like, this is it. This is what we're doing, and then it's done.
Yeah, that was the best part. And also, show up 4:00 in the morning, get ready. I'd be done by 10 a.m.
Wow.
Yeah, and then I was just like 21-year-old kid getting like almost like, I think $1,000 a week to do a soap opera. And I was like, I'm rich.
Yeah.
It was great.
Were you in New York at the time?
Yeah.
Oh my God. You're 21.
I shared an apartment, 2-bedroom apartment with 4 people, you know, it was like
the best.
Living my life. It was great.
But those are the great kind of training moments that hopefully, as we do start to achieve the things that we want to achieve, that hopefully you always.
But what do you want? That's what I more want to answer these questions. Like I know we can look at it from the outside, but I think I want to know what you, Hardwick, what do you want?
Well, so I think when you're younger, those are material answers.
Yeah.
You want recognition or fame or whatever, or you want monetary or material things, you know. And I think when you start to get older, and now that I am, especially now as a parent, it's like, oh, I want peace. I want my child to be okay. I want my wife to be happy. You know, it's like all those things, all those priorities. And then with work stuff, it's like,
those are your responsibilities. I'm still saying, like, internally, that's what you want. You know, that's for sure what you want. Okay.
But also, like, for work stuff, it's like, I just want the work stuff to fit in around those other things that are more of a priority to me, as much as I love working and I love being here and I love getting to talk to new people that I discover could be old friends who I've just met. But the idea being that, like, I think my goals now are more mental than they're more, I don't know what the word is, but just things like peace and happiness and balance and
contentment.
Contentment, because you don't.
Like, it's not about happiness.
Happiness is dangerous because people can chase happiness like a drug, and happiness is not a drug. I think it's a state of mind, or it's like an absence of
flow.
It's flow, or it's the absence of, like, I've had the same fitness trainer for 21 years. When I was younger, I would train.
That's why you look so fit.
Hey, come on.
Come on. Let's see the muscles.
I would train until I would work out until I would feel something, like, so I could feel strong.
Yeah.
And now if I feel something really quickly, it's probably bad. I've injured myself. And so now I train in a balanced way. And what I seek is the absence of feeling anything. And that to me is like, oh, peace. So both physically and mentally, this does seem to be what I'm seeking out, to, like, not get caught up in all of the craziness of, you know, what social media and the attention economy can do.
But how much do you put value on social media?
I value it. I mean, it still can be somewhat fun because it's a way to turn around quick, you know, like, oh, I had this fun, silly idea, I put it out there, and you know, it used to feel a lot more just like a natural part of my lifestyle, like, oh, you got to post this. Now it feels a little bit more like work, and it definitely is tied to more like, well, I have a show to promote, or I have this, just because I'm not sitting around on my phone all day, and I definitely don't want my daughter to see that.
Yeah, that makes sense. There's something about society, because of the social media and these, like, reposts and stuff like that. There's, like, the celebration of mediocrity now, and that's what drives me crazy. It used to, like, a master carpenter, it would take them years or something to build something beautiful.
Yeah.
And now, because of the tension, whatever you call it, like, how there's so much value just for people's attention, just mediocrity is celebrated, and it drives me insane.
Well, I think with social media, it requires a little work on our part to get out of it. You have to direct it a little bit to get what you want out of it. If you just mindlessly consume junk food, then you're going to get fed more junk food.
Isn't it funny? It's called junk food, and we were like, oh, that's probably healthy.
Yeah, exactly. It's
junk.
Wait, so that's not good? Slop and junk, those are not things that I should.
The fact that we, like, literally use these terms and we don't, like, take the time to just, like, acknowledge them blows my mind. That's what I think so crazy about this industry, or like any industry, is that people rush through it instead of, again, with the Audacity, studying these people in the tech world. It's like, I know you can do these things.
Yeah.
But is there value for humanity to do them?
Yeah.
Is it necessary? Where do we really lie on it? And, like, I think that these kind of questions are coming up where I am at 41 now, just being like, I can do these things, but what should I actually do to maybe help other people or support other people?
Those are really great questions and very valuable questions, because that will inform, moving forward, the types of things that you do, the types of projects you take, or with your, you know, like, artistic collective, the types of stories you decide to tell.
Well, Joanne, you were wrong about me. You try to cut me off at the knees, but I grew new shins. And now I am big enough to forgive you. And I got news. Oh, and I know you're going to want to hear it. I've been doubting myself, my abilities, but A, this guy is formidable. And I just had the most volcanic sex with someone who's been with me the whole time. My most committed sexual partner. Myself. I loved myself. Isn't that the whole point of therapy? I gave love to me. Maybe it's the most important love of all. It wasn't whatever penetrative sex with my wife, but I penetrated my fist. Yeah, you know what? That fist is now a symbol of my strength against all odds and my belief in me. Okay, call me back. It's Duncan.
You're doing the Audacity right now.
Yeah.
And I know the show got picked up already for a second season.
Season 2.
How long does it take for you guys to shoot a season?
That first season was like 4 to 5 months.
So it's like 4 to 5 really intense months.
Well, especially with Jonathan Glatzer's writing, yes.
Yeah.
I would get like 5 pages I had to do the next day, like which is like a monologue. And it was nonstop. And I loved every minute of it.
So that obviously feels very good.
Yeah.
Because like, I got
great
work.
opportunity. But I think, this industry, to have a job in it, it's a gift. Like the percentage of people that can live and have work, it's minute. It's a point of a percentage, basically. Everyone that's like in this industry or trying to pursue it. So that's a gift. To then be working with people you admire and you love and you care for, that's a treasure on top of that. And then to get an opportunity to do it again, I mean, come on, that's a home run. There's no greater gift, because like I've been on other shows where I love the people, I love the journey, but it was a summer camp and it was done.
Yeah. That still has value though, right?
It has value, and you miss it and you treasure those times with these people. But I think, again, like the fun I've found now is keep growing it with people and discovering these little new weird parts of life with these people. Yeah.
Do you have kind of an internal map of like, okay, I'm playing this type of character now, so the next time I might want to do this? Or do you kind of just take it as it comes?
My career, I've fought for every role I have auditioned for. I do believe you can't choose the work you get.
Yeah.
You can choose the pursuit or the direction you pursue. Again, for me, it was Jonathan Glatzer's writing. I read it and I saw the script and I was like, oh my God, I auditioned for it. I tested for it. Like, I fought for this role. There wasn't like an opportunity that like, that Steven wants you. Actually, I did once get a call to Steven Spielberg.
What?
Well, I was in Bridge of Spies.
You were in Bridge of Spies.
Yeah, and that was that moment where Steven Spielberg wants to talk. It's Steven on the phone. Holy
Steven,
I don't know.
You, dude, I know this is Jake. Lamorne, is this you? You, click.
That was crazy.
Yeah. Oh, it was actually Steven Spielberg you just hung up on.
I remember I was doing Bridge of Spies, and I had this job. The producer came up to me. It's my second day on set with everyone there, and the producer comes up. He's like, "Hey, Steven wants to talk to you." The sphincter goes that big.
Yeah, you start vomiting, from stress vomiting.
I'm like, I'm gonna get fired by Steven Spielberg. I'm screwed. If you've seen the movie, and no spoiler alerts, it's in 2 different locations, and like in the scripts, there was a whole storyline. I marry his daughter, and like blah blah blah. It didn't fit in the movie. That it was because he was already in Germany doing his spy work out there. Steven came up and was like, hey, listen, this stuff, we're going to cut it down and put some of it here. And like, he was apologizing for changing my part as the director. And I'm like, Steven, I thought you were going to fire me. Yeah, whatever you need. Honestly, I would have just held something for you. I don't know.
Yeah.
But that was a wild experience.
He really did just call you?
Yeah.
And are you like, Hello.
Yeah, but again, like he's such a wonderful artist. Again, all you can hope in this industry is to work with people that are caring and creative and communal. He's a young little filmmaker still in his heart, like laying on the floor being like, oh, let's get this shot.
Yeah.
He's an excitable person. He loves what he does, and you want to be around that.
He really is like it never surprised. I've had the pleasure of meeting him a couple times, and he was very kind. He was very sweet both times, and it's like, oh yeah, because his stuff, there's always a heart to it, and that heart is him.
Yeah,
and even hearing about like.
He spent the time like meeting my parents, sat with them, talked with them for like, I don't know, half an hour, just like being kind to them.
Yeah,
he didn't need to do that.
Oh man, I don't know if I want to tell the story because it's embarrassing. I did something with him at Comic-Con once, and so afterwards we were, like doing photos and stuff, and without really thinking, I was like, let's take a photo where we touch the tips of our fingers. And he was like, no. Like, it was just like, and I immediately was like, oh, man. Because you never know. Sometimes you take the swing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I took a prom photo with Sigourney Weaver, and she was,
I did my first, that was where my, I think my career shifted, was doing a play with Sigourney Weaver.
Really?
She was awesome.
She was awesome.
Yeah, she's awesome.
So I thought, well, I could take a swing doing the ET thing, but of course, like, he's probably gotten that. It's like, just wasn't thinking. He's probably gotten that his entire, he was very polite about it.
But he's like, I'm good.
He was good. Yeah, he was good. And the only thing that made it okay is I was like, he's never going to remember this. And then like a couple months later, I went to watch SNL in New York, and he was there, and someone was like, oh, Steven Spielberg. I was like, please don't remember the finger thing. And I didn't know if I should try to make a bit out of it, like, but I didn't say anything, and he didn't say anything. So everything seemed like A-okay. But it's just seeing how much heart he infuses in everything. And even like Chris Columbus had told this story about, he had written the script for Gremlins, which was like a straight ahead, really more of a horror movie. Steven Spielberg was like on his desk at Amblin. He took it home and read it and loved it, and came back to Chris Columbus, was like, it's a great script, but it needs heart. Yeah. So he was right.
He made Gizmo?
I'm pretty sure he like made that whole part of the story materialize.
Wow.
If I'm not speaking apocryphally, but the idea that when you look at him as an artist, like, what's the biggest takeaway? It's like, he's kind, and where's the heart of the thing? When on working on Bridge of Spies, did you feel that from him?
Yeah, he just loved his work. He loved what he did. He loved telling a story. It's just seeing a maestro really conduct an orchestra. He loves the position he's in, and like, I don't think he wants days to end, because he loves just being there so much. And
that's the biggest takeaway.
Yeah,
that's the biggest takeaway, I think, which is like, never lose your love and curiosity, never lose your heart, because if you do, then
you're dead inside.
You're dead inside, and you're just like, it doesn't mean anything, and it's not like it. I think you really have to love the process and the craft of what you're doing, and I think it's okay to like the results. It's like winning awards doesn't mean nothing, but I don't think it means everything.
Yeah.
The craft and the love and the, like getting to commune with people, those experiences, I think, are kind of really what.
I mean, celebrating those stuff has led me to here, this opportunity to talk with you. Like, I was just focused on the craft and the people I was working with, and now I'm in this room. It's really weird.
Just in keeping with the light theme of the podcast, do you find that you overthink things, or are you good at kind of just deciding and then?
Yes and no. I think we're all human. We do both. There's the flow state. Like, I love acting and I love being present to the world, and I think that's easy to just be present and flow with it. This right now, this is overthinking to me.
Yeah.
I again, we're strangers. We're meeting for the first time, but we're comrades, deep down. This stuff, every movement I make, every word I say, I overthink it.
Yeah.
It's almost like a prison. It's really scary. Do you not?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
It's like, what show, like the hardest character I've ever had to play was myself. And, these other characters, I could live in the world, I can construct it and throw it all be free with it. But being on stage as Billy is the scariest thing.
Yeah, because you chose to be an actor. You chose to inhabit. Now, whether or not you're pulling from different facets of your personality to inhabit these characters or get to know them, but still you're playing other people.
Yeah.
So then this whole other era of your career that it seems like you're entering of like, now be that person and you publicly, you know?
But that's, I've fought with producers or studios before about, I come first day to work and I build a whole character and do this whole thing. And they're like, no, clean shape. We just want you to look like you.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, I don't want to be here.
Yeah.
I don't want to be here.
You took this role to be this other person.
Yeah, that's the fun part of it. And I think, it sucks. I don't overthink that. And I go, oh, I'm not supposed to be here. And
it's so funny, like, to hear from the other side of the table, because going back to one of the first questions you asked me, I did go through pilot seasons and I auditioned for sitcoms and dramatic stuff and commercials.
Remember pilot seasons? Wow.
Oh my God. But such a 1900s relic of the past. Like, oh, it's pilot season. That means it's
fly out to LA.
January to April, and you're gonna get 13 pages for 3
and
different
everyone
shows.
loves you. You're perfect.
You're perfect, but they're going in another direction. Well, I guess they didn't love me that much. You 3 auditions the next day. They're all the way across town. There's no parking. You have to have change for the meters. You get 13 pages for each audition. They add more pages. You show up. They're like, we're just gonna read the second scene. You're like, it's 2 pages. I prepared 36 pages. And then like that, it was listening to Steve Martin's book, Born Standing Up, where he said, I was sitting in an audition room and he looked across at a bunch of other dudes who looked just like him. And he was like, this is not going to be my path. And when I heard that, I thought, oh yeah, I love hosting and I love podcasting. And I love stand-up because it allows me the flexibility to be me and to move more seamlessly rather than with acting. I feel like, but then you're stuck in a character. But for other people, that makes more sense to them. So that's why I look across the table. I go, it's so fascinating to hear. Like, I want to inhabit this person for this period of time.
Yeah,
that.
But not a methody way at all.
No, of course not.
Nothing like that. Wow, the last point you brought up is like do you go on your own journey or not? Like, I think that's important. Like, I feel every time someone gave me a suggestion, or they're like, this is what you should do with your career.
Yeah.
It was always the wrong thing.
Right.
And actually trusting yourself, because it is you versus the world in this industry.
Unfortunately, the art is very tied to the commerce.
Yeah.
So you have to be lucky enough that you have people in your life. Now, I've been lucky. I've had the same manager for almost 25 years, and he's always said, don't chase the money, which is a great place to be, because a lot of times the commerce, just because it's a business, will come first. And so people are having you chase trends, and it's like,
but that's no desire. I didn't live in Hollywood. I live in Georgia. Like, I've avoided all the things. I don't know why.
Well, because it's a weird path.
It's a weird path. Like, again, you overthink it. I always, like, in these rooms, I'm like, oh, I don't know if this is for me. I feel out of place.
But you have to ask yourself those important questions so you know who you are, so you know what you want, so you can make better decisions based on those operating principles. Because if you just kind of let the business pull you around, it's like a crapshoot. Like, well,
but I do have to say, like, there is a beauty of going with the flow with things and being like, I'll just go on the adventure and see what it is. Like a yes kind of,
which is also a totally fine, as long as you're okay with wherever that leads. And if you're fine with that, I mean, I've always heard like, well, there's floaters and there's scrappers, and the floaters just kind of go wherever the current takes them and they're fine with that. And the scrappers, like you were saying, they just fight for every piece of it.
Those people freak me out. Like, where you're like, I can't. I do too much. It's too much. I can't do it. Yeah, have it. You can literally have it. It has no value. So, what is your thesis with your show?
Sure.
Or the let's say the hypothesis of what you're trying to figure out.
Yeah.
What is that? What the clarity of your thesis with this show?
For now, with this particular podcast?
Yeah.
I think it's pretty similar to what it's always been, which is I like people.
Yeah.
I like connecting with people.
Yeah.
I like having conversations, which I feel like in a text-based, social media, character limited it's like we're not having a lot of conversations, so I like sitting down and I like learning.
You freeformed this like completely.
Oh yeah, totally. Totally, because I just like to get to know people. It's like if you and I went out for coffee, this is probably the exact conversation we would have.
No, I don't think so. I actually don't think so.
Really? Okay,
I don't think so.
Interesting.
That's the problem. There's too many people in the room. There's lights on us. There's cameras.
I'm so accustomed to all that, though, so I think for me it's different.
So, talk about overthinking. No, we would be totally different conversation. We went for a beer, and I think I would love to go for a beer. I don't know if you drink.
I don't, but I could have a club soda.
Yeah, coffee or whatever. It would be a different conversation, I think.
Interesting. Well, we should definitely do that.
Yeah,
I think we should definitely do that. I ran into a friend of mine at breakfast this morning that I hadn't seen for a while, and he had a meeting, and then he came over and sat down, and we just talked for an hour, and I realized like, oh yeah, these moments where you connect with another human being IRL they last with you
in real life.
In real life.
Just realized what it meant.
IRL. What is this Earl stuff that he keeps?
Like, is it like a ORG? Like org?
Is this a .com? Is this a club that I'm not a member of? You're a member of IRL. But I always find those moments where we connect with our friends or connect with people, our families, our friends, that there's this like sustainable joy that lasts longer than anything, literally anything.
Yeah.
Because you will have career highs and career lows, and things will be really, you'll feel like on top of it and everything. But then how long does that last?
It doesn't.
Right.
It's always ebbing and flowing.
And no one understands that if they haven't. They're like, you should be more appreciative. It's like, it's not that I'm not appreciative. I'm just saying, like, it can't mean everything.
I have a buddy, Quincy Dunbaker. He's an actor buddy, theater guy. He's in. If you've seen him, you've seen him in stuff. He's around. And he would say that it's like your success should not be judged by anyone else's. And if someone's a real friend, you're going through a hard time. You're going through a hard time, and you need someone to talk to.
Yeah.
Even if our place in the world is different, like. It's okay. A real friend just listens.
My goal with this is just like, I just want to meet interesting people.
Do you have a therapist?
Of course.
Well, you don't use this as therapy. I think you can talk about anything you wanted here.
I mean, sometimes it becomes therapeutic. Really, the way I approach these conversations is I don't prepare for better or worse. I show up, I see what the energy of the guest is, and I just try to follow along with that and see where they're at and just try to... But
that's the thing. You just... Okay. But this is my perception of reality. There's moments I see you, and then there's moments I see the Hardwick, the character.
Yeah.
And so like that's what I'm curious about going for a cup of coffee. Who is you and not the show?
The character is just doing bits.
Yeah.
The character is just like, but I would do that if we were just.
Yeah, I understand.
Hanging out.
Yeah.
But also, like, I hear what you're saying because the show does have a structure.
Yeah.
So it obviously couldn't just be a totally
meta shit we're talking here.
Yeah, exactly. But listen, it's, if people are watching this online, for instance, if they've stuck out for this long, then it's all right to get into the meta stuff. But I know that there are mechanical parts of my brain that are like, okay, we're,
connecting
45, 50 minutes in.
Yeah.
So I have to start kind of winding it down. Like, there is like the crafty part where I am. Yes, it still is a show. I'm aware that we have I just call them a crewdience because they're our crew who is the audience of very nice people. So yeah, I'm sure those performing parts just seep out sometimes. But at the end of the day, I really do like meeting nice people, learning from them, kind of finding out like what's your part of the journey like, just checking in.
Yeah.
So for me, that's the therapy. It's like I met this really nice guy, Billy Magnussen. He turned out to be awesome. I really like this guy. I appreciate where he's coming from. I hope we get to hang out again. And, I had a lot of nice takeaways from that. That for me, there's literally no other goal other than that,
Yeah.
Because there's a million podcasts now, especially, There were a lot when I started. There were a handful in 2010, but now there's a million of them. So.
I'm always intrigued by people. Like when you create constantly in the actor's world, like that's why I'm questioning these things nonstop. What is the actual intention? Where is the emotion lie? Where is it stemming from? Where is this guy living, or how does he feel about this?
What do you think is the end game of that? Is that just so that you understand what your place in the dynamic is? What's your goal with that question?
I think is to do all the work up front, so then when you're there working with other people, you just exist in the space. The point is to not think about it. It's like memorizing lines. Like, you want to memorize the lines so well that you never have to think about it, and it just comes out.
Does it matter what other people's goals or intentions are, or is that just so you kind of know, like, well, who can I trust? Who's being real? Who's authentic?
I think we could read people's intentions.
Yeah,
I think we have everyone has that ability. I don't know if people listen to it, but I know we all have like a sixth sense, and we it's there. The hairs on the back of your neck, when they stand up, it's telling you something.
Yeah, exactly. Well, when you were sort of saying like, why are you doing this, or like, what are other people's intentions? Like, I guess my curiosity is, why is that important to you to know? Is it so that you know who to trust? Reality.
Because again, I live in a fictitious world with. Let's be like, Hollywood can be a place of, fake walls.
Especially the more successful you get, the more people are going to come around. The more people are gonna,
authenticity. I think it's the hunt for authenticity.
Yes.
Yeah.
And do you have I feel like, because you have had such a long, healthy career up to this point, it's so fascinating to me that the Audacity, where you're like, yeah, this is my first like real like big starring thing, and you've been working for almost 20 years.
20 years.
That I feel like that's good, because if you had gotten this when you were like 21, 22, would you have been able to navigate it?
Yeah, I think I would have just adapted to it. I think not with the grace that I might have at this age, which I don't have any grace. I probably fall on my face all the time, but I think I would be, the personal pressure would have been way higher.
Yeah.
Than it is now. Now it's more like the love just to enjoy it and be like, I'm just here.
So then and
the curiosity, but feeling safe to own your own space.
Yeah.
I think I wouldn't have had that as a young man.
So do you feel like you know yourself a lot better now?
I still, but there's so many mysteries that.
Well, of course there is.
Do I know myself? Yeah, I think, again, every time I step into these other characters or build them, you're asking yourself these same questions, and it just feels back more and more, and you're like, oh, God, you're just still an innocent child.
But ultimately, that's kind of, I think, what we're always kind of placating. You know what I mean? Like, where you get to, I think it's always fun in those moments where you can say to that inner younger you, like, dude, can you believe this?
High five.
Yeah, exactly. This thing, it's like Steven Spielberg just called you. That's mind blowing. You know what I mean?
I guess, no, I haven't. I haven't acknowledged that stuff. And my parents tell me that all the time. Be like, you've achieved something we would never have done in our lives. And they're like, do you recognize it? And I go, I understand what you're saying, but do I change? Do I feel different? Do I feel like some trophy is won, or some mountain no, it just is like, I'm still hungry for something. The hunt is still on. It's so funny. Have you noticed this? Or I don't know if you experienced this, where everyone will tell me, your parents are so proud of you. Parents are so proud of you. And I know they are. But sometimes you're like, you guys can say it to me too.
Yeah.
Just say it to me. I know they're out there going to the world and boasting and whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're just, still a son. You're like, you could say it to me too every once in a while.
Do you ever, now we're getting to therapy. Have you ever said that to them?
Yeah, I did. I have a great relationship with them. And you just, I think the communication is the key to everything. And if you can have the freedom to communicate or express yourself clearly, or what you need to the people that you love, that's a great place to be.
It is funny that no matter what we tell ourselves about how complex we think our motivations are, like at the end of the day, it's like, I just want my friends to like me, and I want my folks to be proud of me, and I want my kid to love me, and I want my wife to be happy. It's like,
literally,
they're really just, when you distill it down. But sometimes you don't know that unless you just sit in silence for a sec and ask, what is it that I really want? Like, what does that really distill down to?
I want that love. I want to give that love, and I want to go on whatever the adventure is.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Are you on social media at all?
Yeah.
Lightly?
Yeah. I mean, I have it.
Yeah.
not the like just the one Instagram everyone has.
I mean, listen, I for whatever it's worth, and you didn't ask my opinion, but I feel real good about you, Billy Magnussen, because I feel like you got a good head on those shoulders, and you have whatever you think or however much you second guess, I feel like you have a good perspective, which will not only benefit you in terms of like having a nice long career, but also just like help you stay like not go insane.
I think it's already happened, though.
You think so?
Yeah, it's already happened.
No.
You don't think so? Just like time, age, growth.
Well, I guess time and age, but also like that's also the beauty of it too. Because
so it's finite.
It is finite.
And that's what, these people in tech world, they're trying to beat it. And you're like, well, then it's not special.
We met for like 30 seconds when you were walking in, and you were like, we never met before. And I go, no. And I think, we have some friend crossover. And when Lamorne was here and he was like, oh my God, Billy's the best. And it's like, I get why he said that now, because you are like,
Lamorne's great too. I love him so much.
Your willingness to be open and vulnerable and to just have authentic experiences and try to create community with people that you care about, like that's what is important, and that's what it's all about, especially while you're at the precipice of this, like.
But why has it felt like, I appreciate you saying this, and like it could be my own projection of it, but it has felt like a weakness as growing up.
Because I think the business is shark-like.
Yeah.
And doesn't necessarily value those things unless they somehow affect commerce.
Yeah.
And so
my skin has gotten so tough because like people don't know the no's, the thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of no's.
Yeah.
You know how it is.
The rejection is like
it's not meant for people.
And it almost never gets any better. You still feel bad. You still question your existence. You still like.
Yeah. This is I think the horrible thing about a young actor that I learned very quickly, or not very quickly, but you correlate your value as a human being to work you get, and that is a deadly place.
It is, and not only that, but unfortunately, because kind of wrapping it all back around to Audacity, that's what social media does. But now it's like now everyone gets to experience that,
Yeah,
and that's really scary because you're so much more than a number or a metric or engagement or watch time. It's like you're a person with a unique set of skills and experiences, and that has value. Mm-hmm. And just be careful not to supplant that with this other fake thing that you have no control over.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
so
I do want to say it's funny about the Audacity. People's response to, again, what Jonathan Glatzer has done with it is going into the lives of these characters. We want to know what the therapist is doing, the kids are doing, of these tech giants and stuff like that. But to watch the audience sometimes responding to, they hate tech world in Silicon Valley.
Do you feel like they come at you like, you piece of shit? And you're like, this is a character.
I hate these people. And you're like, yeah, that's the point. Yeah, that's the point of the show.
Yeah.
You got it.
Yeah. When you talk about like, the way people watch the show and they map all this other stuff onto it, are you comfortable with like doing something and then releasing it and just like, well, I made this thing and now I'm letting it go?
Yes, because
it's not mine anymore.
I think that's you offer it up. I think it's the most important thing. As long as you did the work, your work, you prepped it, if you could be proud of that, you have to give it away for free. If you regret it, that's on you. I think it's your responsibility because you didn't do the preparation, you didn't do the work. I think of like a carpenter. My father's a carpenter. I grew up in a carpentry shop. If I build a table, I want to make sure it's the best table in the world.
Yeah.
If I'm going to play a character, I'm going to try to make it the best character in the world.
That is so interesting because carpentry is a very tactile IRL craft where you can physically see the result. You can see if the table's wobbly. You can see if it works. You can see if it's aesthetically what you want. Mm-hmm. And with acting, it's just this more like amorphous thing. So what skills of carpentry have you taken into the craftsmanship of acting, if that's not too...
No, that's very clear. Again, I don't have the final say of the edit. I don't have the final say of other actors. I know the character I bring to life, I brought to life the best I could. And so I have all the pride and respect. Like, I can be prideful of that. I know I showed up every day as completely as I could.
So lastly...
And is that, if there's a comparison, I think you have to watch your work.
Yeah.
and know where the holes and cracks are. And it took time.
And constantly be willing to
You have to
improve.
Yeah.
So last question for anyone, for the young actors out there, the young Billy Magnussens, the young craftspeople out there, even if it's not acting. I guess the easiest way to say this is what advice would you give to your 20-year-olds, 20?
Go live a life. Your value as a human is not equated to what job you get.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. Just remember that.
Billy Magnussen, The Audacity, AMC. Thank you so much for being here.